of your characters have changed quite a bit over It's probably been 2, 3, maybe going on 4 months since you had that first test to join the Hero Institute. Any unexpected things that have changed from your initial idea to what your character became?
I honestly never thought that Madigan would be actually wanting to go out and do stuff, or like interacting with other people and getting along with said other people. Because again, she always thought she'd be the girl in the chair behind a computer screen. She didn't actually think that she would be out with a team that she actually got along with. And here we are.
Ta-da!
Yay!
Real life friends and teammates.
Yeah. I said with Glider, I was surprised at how anxious she was, but that was more the dice doing that. She's so much more protective of her power than I was expecting. What would she do if that was threatened? I don't know. And just like how upset she was when the power stopped working, and like what lengths would she have gone to fix it. Like, I was a little surprised by how kind of intense that felt, just because I've made her such an intense little character. So that was fun. I did like also how she was trying to make both of them feel better about their powers. Marcus having weird shadow villain energy, and she's like, hey, that could happen to anybody. Like, that doesn't say anything about your character. And like always hyping up Madigan because Madigan's so cool. Oh, Glider thinks Madigan's so cool. Like, super cool.
Didn't she have a poster of Madigan in her room?
Yeah.
Poster or news article, because Scarlet Sentinel is not in the papers a lot, but you are a bit of a local celebrity. Kid Phoenix is more widespread celebrity, but that's also because the Phoenix.
She was a fan of you both before you became friends, but now she gets that you guys are friends and colleagues. So that's also been that's also been a fun development, the like actual friendship.
Yeah. Now you're just a different kind of fan.
Yeah.
You're a fan of them on a personal level too.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what about for Marcus?
Oh gosh, I think when I started Marcus, I was torn about going in two directions, because I think in my brain I was like, well, Marcus has probably the most experience. I think Marcus might end up taking on more of a leadership role. But I think the further along we got, the more it became kind of very naturally apparent, mom friend energy notwithstanding, that Madigan was very much capable of reining in both of us. And I think that was a very natural kind of understanding of like, I'm already friends with this person. I trust their judgment when I'm in a stage of my life where I am not trusting myself. So I am able to kind of let go of a little bit of that ego. And not that I ever assumed that Marcus was going to have a big ego about it. I thought Marcus was definitely going to be a little bit more brooding than expected. But we never got there because of the strong friendship. Hey, I heard you. I heard that. That was so menacing. I was like, yeah, no, Marcus, like, minimal brooding, I think, for season 1. Like, it happened sometimes, but not to the point where I was, like, expecting it to happen. So I think the initial thought was, this is going to be a leader. And now it's more so like, no, this is someone who's part of a team and does defer a lot to Scarlet Sentinel. Just in terms of like, okay, what do we do next? Because when we are in the thick of it, you have a good head on your shoulders. It's kind of fun to play with that expectation, but I'm assuming what your veiled threat on Marcus entails is that Marcus, who I planned this from the beginning, so it's not even a threat, will soon be more comfortable with going as Manticore and kind of distancing from the legacy background that he was adopted into.
Or he becomes Phoenix 2.
I come back and I'm 2 Phoenixes, one that is blue and one that is red. I don't hate Superman, I promise. I think Superman's fantastic. I just think 90s Superman has some of the wackiest nonsense I could possibly envision.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 90s had a lot of crazy stuff for superheroes.
Yeah. But no, I'm a Superman enjoyer. No one can ever say otherwise.
I feel like Madigan's favorite way of just calming you guys down is after we're done, we go back to my place, I plop a cat in your lap. and get really good pizza.
Team cat is important. Like having a
Yes.
cat to return to as a team.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
it puts in a lot of work.
Digda still very much loves everyone.
Yeah.
I feel like Artie's pretty friendly too whenever he trips his
Oh,
way
yeah.
into your window.
Yeah. As soon as he comes in the house, he will always turn his butt to you and just look at you and be like, I have a beautiful butt. And just waggle it in your face until you pick him up.
Cats are
Because
weird.
that is what my cat does. If he's not lying on the floor looking like a weirdo. Yeah. With no bones.
No bones.
He has no bones.
Yeah, I'm like, we haven't gotten the floating wiggle cat today, but
No,
That's
Dustin's downstairs. Artie's lying on the floor just that away.
that's fair. Always enjoyed the floating wiggle cat. But the last question I want to ask, unless y'all have questions you want to ask me, which I may or may not answer, is what are some things you look forward to exploring in the upcoming season? And what do you think of some of the mysteries that have been laid out before you?
Like I said, I really like the mystery of this kind of wider world going all around us that we're missing, that we're just catching glimpses of. And I like this weird thing of the past catching up to us, like the Phoenix and all his connections and these people we're kind of meeting in passing. What's going on? What actually happened? How did Phoenix end up with Marcus? And I feel like that's all gonna come out eventually, story-wise.
Mhm.
I have plans.
Of course you have plans.
Yeah, no, you've been orchestrating our downfall since day one, obviously.
And it's great.
I've written 3 books. Of course I have plans.
Yeah.
I love that I can flex about that. It's like, oh yeah, what does your GM do? I'm like, well, my GM for our game of Mass has written 3 books of backstory for our lore, unrelated to well, completely related, but unrelated to the fact that our game exists. The lore has just been there the whole time.
Yeah. And we just keep expanding more and more and more.
Yeah, well, there wasn't going to be a connection until Ian, you started talking about your character. You're like, oh, he has like telekinesis and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I don't know how you know about this book that I haven't even thought about since like high school.
It's all in
But
here.
I know exactly who Marcus's birth parents are.
Interesting.
Fantastic.
Interesting.
I love that I will literally be able to, like in a comic, go, Excelsior, dear reader, please check Brianna's books for my parents. They're in there.
They are.
Like the little asterisk, like, did you read the books?
Did you read volume 2?
Because I haven't yet, which is even scarier for my character.
Well, I guess one fun tidbit I can drop for you, because it's not a huge spoiler, is book 2 is called Battle of the Void.
I wonder what that might mean.
Yikes.
Fine.
I love it. I love
Book
it.
1 is Code Silver, which makes no sense.
Yeah, that's okay.
It makes sense in context.
Not for what we know yet.
What's everyone else looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to figuring out a little bit about Madigan's background. We don't have much going on in Madigan's background.
Mhm.
Not on recordings yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, not on recordings. We got some secrets.
Madigan's life seems very
I have
normal.
family somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Too normal.
Too
Ooh.
normal.
We will find out.
I think something I'd want to see more of is more of the, not to say, like, I don't really feel like we've outgrown it at all yet. Like, I want to see a little bit more about the academy, and I want to revisit some of our, not just like our mentors, but some of our classmates potentially, or like solve a problem that's very local to the actual academy, because I've enjoyed navigating the city and the like, but part of me is kind of also going like, I wonder what else we could get up to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I do have some more things planned around the school, like classes, challenges, not official challenges. But I've got some fun shenanigans planned.
I would like to see some of us each get our own little mini nemesis.
We all kind of have, well, I mean, depending on the backstories, but I feel like we kind of have a few already in the wing.
Oh, I mean like personal nemesis, not a group, just like little personal ones. Because I don't know, I don't know if I have one yet. Do I?
No, we all have hubris.
I don't think you.
Well,
Yes.
we have hubris, but I think I have the terrorist from the news van, the one that we stopped. I think pretty explicitly was like against the two of us, and might come back. So I think that might be one of our nemesi.
That's true. That is very true.
Yeah, true. Dear listeners, that's from one of the backstory episodes with how each of these three met the other two in the group.
Those
was
were
so much
fun.
fun.
I always like these
It's
back
so
talk
much
episodes in like podcasts because it's like by the magic of time travel, you should know what this means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to like immediately date our episode by going, oh yeah, you can buy all of Kingdom Hearts on PC now.
I mean,
can
we
edit
did
that
also
part out.
date it when I started off with.
Yeah.
We published our first episode just over a year ago.
Oh,
as we're
true.
recording
And if
this.
you were
Yeah.
paying attention, listener, you can also figure out the secret location of the treasure.
Yeah.
The key is you have to leave a very nice 5-star review
Yes.
It's true.
on your
Oh, yeah.
podcasting app.
Yeah, we'll send you
Yeah.
the first part of the ARG when you do. Do not quote me on that. I won't send you anything. I will send you negative things. I will take things away from you.
We don't condone stealing.
No stealing. Mm-mm.
So do you have any questions for me about things?
Hmm.
I mean, I feel like you probably do, but questions you think will actually answer.
I was gonna say, like, you're not gonna like reveal the secret lore, at least not yet.
Yeah, I mean, we
Not yet.
definitely have
Not quite.
questions, but yeah, there's definitely secret lore, and I don't think we're gonna get those answers so easily.
What are the questions you're most looking forward to getting the answers for in the next season?
I just had the thought. How do you decide on the guest arcs? Like, what is that like for you? Do you just find somebody that you're like, I already like this person, I'm gonna throw him in and let him play a wacky little guy, or like what is the setup for you for setting up our guest spots? Because we had 2 major ones and I enjoyed them a lot.
So my setup for that was you had made a joke about Prankster getting canceled on Herogram, and my first thought is Prankster's absolutely the superhero, the comic book equivalent of Zero Day, who is a
Mhm.
character in the Graveyard Tape.
Yes.
So I reached out to the voice actor for Zero Day and the voice actor for Zero Day's best friend, Threadripper, and asked them, would you like to play a superhero version of your characters on Queen City Sweepers for story arc?
Oh, that's delightful.
And it was delightful.
Yeah,
Oh, I love
yeah.
that.
I love the idea of people finding us first and then going, this is a spin-off of what? And then they go to the Graveyard Tapes and get very confused.
Yeah, right?
Because they'll be like, I don't understand how this is a spin-off. And then they'll get to the episode that takes place in the con and they're like, oh!
There you go.
To be fair, that is episode 2.
Yeah.
No, 3.
Is that
2's
seriously
Lost
episode
Boat.
I thought it was a little
No.
further in.
3's Lost Boat.
Yeah, I thought it was like
Because when you
halfway.
when
in.
you drafted me in, you were like, listen to this episode for context. And I was like, you got it. And that's the one I
Yeah,
listened
hang
to.
on. Since we did the redo for Calling of the Corners and Lost Photo, then there's also Valentine's Secret Santa. So, numbered episode-wise, it's 3. It's the 4th episode that came out, though.
There we go.
Heroes.
Yeah.
So we're a 4th episode backdoor pilot. Look at us.
Yeah. And we've gone on for a whole year already.
Yeah.
Wild to me how much time has passed.
I had a weird idea and I wanted a bigger sandbox plan, so I'm like, hey, Dustin, can I do this thing?
Yeah.
Will the station accept if I do this? And it's just turned into something pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
And I'm having so much fun with
Very
it.
awesome.
This has made me sing the praises of Masks, I think, a lot more. And I already really liked Masks because I got into the whole engaging in actual plays that other people listen to, I think tangentially because of Critical Bits, which was a Masks actual play that finished up a couple years back. So I'm sitting here going like, oh, it's fun that like I've arrived at the end of this particular circle, where I started because I listened to people play Mask and went, wow, that's fun. That's a fun set of mechanical systems to supplement this sort of play, and I have ended up here.
Also, having kind of ended up here, also because of discovering shows like Critical Bits, Also, you should listen to Critical Bits. It's delightful as well.
It's a complete series. You can listen to it from start to finish.
It's teen superheroes learning how to be teen superheroes, which is what we're doing, but completely different. Like, our characters could not be more different.
Yeah, the body horror, I think, is an aspect that is cannot be ignored. There's a lot of body horror in Critical Bits.
Oh, jeez.
Which is very fun, because it starts off like, oh, this feels pretty, like, it's a little wacky, but it feels pretty, like, on the norm. And then it immediately hard pivots into, like, oh, we got some body horror villains.
Yeah. Ours is much more slice of life and, talking to your parents about being a superhero and getting a boba.
It's true. and petting a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're very humble, or what's the word? Very...
It's cozy.
It is cozy.
Cozy, that's the word.
Yeah, it's very like cozy superhero, but there are things going on in the background.
Yeah, there's some spooky things
will
going on.
eventually come to a head.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. It's gonna be great.
Great.
There's gonna be so much stuff going on
In season 2.
Season 2.
Ooh.
One last fun, very challenging question. What would you say has been your favorite moment so far for your character specifically?
I would say getting my own alien AI.
Canopa. I love
Canopa is great. I love Canopa.
That was not my original plan when I started running that game, but to be fair, I had no
Right?
plan going into that game, and I was just like, sure, why not? Let's do it.
This is where I would insert the footage of me meeting Canopa. If I had any. So, eventually I'd love to meet Canopa. I'm very excited, because otherwise it's just very confusing to Marcus specifically.
Like just talking with Gladder. Yeah, no, Canopa said this. She told me to do this and this, and Gladder's just like, oh yeah. And you're like,
It's like the equivalent of
What?
like you're hanging out with your homies and one of them turns to you and it's like, yeah, I was just talking to Blue Boar from Mars. And I'm like, okay, sure. I guess. I believe you because you don't have a reason to lie to me about this, but are you not gonna, you're gonna bury the lead and just mention Blue Boar in the most casual way possible?
We did just drop that on you.
Yeah.
yeah, we kind of did.
Yeah.
I'll answer the question for real this time. I think it's finding out more of the members of the Phoenix family of superheroes and how I feel about each of them.
Mm-hmm.
I very much like that my character would absolutely hate the Nightwing pastiche that is Blazewing and be super cool with the Meteor Mite,
Yeah.
who is like actively a much nicer member of that family, but I think it's very fun.
Yeah, her powers are a little bit more lava based,
Yeah.
but she's still a part of the family.
Of
They're old
course.
friends.
Yeah, no, Meteor Mites, it's up there. We are kin.
Well, I always like using the speedster powers when they work. When we were solving the attempted kidnapping, the fake attempted kidnapping, we fought Goon Union, and he had a gun, and it was a fake gun, but Glider just took it from him and hit him with it. Was just like, no, this is mine. Just because she's that fast, and just took it from him. And I thought that was really,
Yeah,
I've always
was-
remembered that, because I didn't, going into it, I didn't know what I was going to do, and I was like, oh, he's got a gun. I was like, I just take it. I take it from him.
Yeah, that was very effective. Glider's also gotten to meet a couple of her heroes, including in that
Yeah.
flashback scene. You have met Blitzfire,
Yes.
fastest woman alive.
Yes, meeting
Ooh,
Blitzfire.
That's a good name.
Yeah, meeting. I also did love having our Girls' Day episode where we did meet Major Molly
Yeah.
Mallet and just got to be
That was super
big
fun.
fangirls about it.
Yeah.
And that was very fun and very cute.
Yeah, same episode where you met Blitzfire, and she just casually dropped the phrase, "Maybe one day you'll catch up with me," and was gone before you could ask anything. And Madigan definitely got a vibe from that
Mm-hmm.
because she knows something, but you haven't seen her since.
Who knows what that means? Maybe we'll find out in season 2.
I do.
You do. Of course you do.
It's going to be a fun reveal. I have lots of exciting things, and I look forward to seeing what all shenanigans come up and adventures we go on, and maybe we'll get some guests that aren't just me stealing characters from the graveyard tapes. We
Yeah.
might have some other people pop on
Ooh.
for an adventure or two.
Woo.
Lots
More
of
guests.
Looking
Yay.
forward to it.
Yay. I hope each guest is more
Yeah, we did.
confusing than the last
Yes.
for Marcus.
Right?
There's a reason I called the first episode where y'all met Jumper the Beat Weird.
Yep.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
that's it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some fun stuff up ahead, and I look forward to seeing what that is. You have been listening to Queen City Supers, a graveyard tape side story using the game Masks. Masks: A New Generation is a superhero role-playing game in which a team of young heroes fights villains, saves lives, and tries to figure out who they are. Featuring Caitlin as Madigan, aka Scarlet Sentinel, the Janus. Jess as Bethany Bertolucci, aka Glider, the Beacon. Ian as Marcus, aka Kid Phoenix, the Doomed. And Brianna Jean as the Keeper and Producer.